The Tesla Semi does not help the Elon time stigma, because if you go back and watch the September 2017 event when they unveiled this thing, they said they would be coming out in 2019, and now Tesla is saying 2021. So we're nearing Model X levels of delayed, but I think a lot of people justify it just because it's so different compared to everything else they've ever released, and it will probably remain to be the most oddball out Tesla vehicle in the lineup just because it's one of the only ones they pretty much make exclusively for commercial use. But I wanted to preface and dive into it a little bit more as to why I think it's being delayed, and there's some obvious points but some not so obvious points. So I wanted to first be clear that I don't think it's because it's not necessarily hitting the metrics they originally promised. It was nearly a year ago now that Elon was saying that in testing of the Tesla Semi and their longer range battery packs, they were nearing 600 miles of range. That is with a payload on the back, and they've been rigorously testing these things. Last couple videos I did on the Tesla Semi, we talked about some of the reservation holders getting updates from Tesla that they're going through rigorous testing right now in durability to see where are the weak points, where are things that are going to start falling apart. Let's focus on that before we start delivering. And of course, Tesla Semis have been spotted along highways off the side of roads. They've been testing them in the winter. They've been testing them in Canada and Alaska. They've been driving around. So it's not like they're giving up on the Tesla Semi project, and it's not that it's been put to a standstill. I think it's primarily around making sure they really nail this battery chemistry, because when you're driving a vehicle that is built to be on the road for days and days at a time, and it's not a residential vehicle, so you don't really get that argument of, well, most people drive under 30 miles a day. With a Tesla Semi, it's like, okay, 80% of people buying this thing are going to be driving it well over 200 miles in a single day, and probably thousands of miles a week, dependent on who's actually buying these things, and that involves putting the battery packs through a ton of cycles. And yep, that's the spoiler of today's video. It's once again get hyped for Battery Investor Day, because the dry electrode technology they're acquiring from Maxwell should allow the battery cycles to be doubled in length compared to what the battery packs in Tesla vehicles can handle today. And I think this dry electrode battery chemistry that should allow for longer range, less degradation over years of use, this is going to be extremely helpful and key to a product like the Tesla Semi, because again, companies are going to be spending $150,000 to $200,000 on these vehicles. If after 500,000 miles on the road they have 70% of the range they used to, it's not going to be a good buy, and that's not going to be a good look for Tesla. So it may suck that they have to keep pushing it back and keep delaying it year after year, but an even worse look is if they delivered them on time but the range got progressively worse and worse and worse, and then commercial companies kind of swear off the whole electric Semi idea because Tesla's the best at making EVs, and if they can't make it practical, then why even bother? So I think the longer wait there is before the launch of an official product, even if it is 2 years late, the better the specs are actually going to be of this thing. The real important part they get right with the Semi is, of course, the range being what it was originally promised to be, as well as the price point. And if they're able to scale battery production, which it sounds like Panasonic's having decent profits when it comes to partnering with Tesla at Gigafactory 1 in Nevada, and they're looking to expand there. I'm hoping that means they're looking to expand some of the battery production for the Maxwell dry electrode technology, which should allow for, again, cheaper batteries as well as less degradation. They probably want to make sure that every production level Tesla Semi, the one that is actually delivered to commercial industries, those are going to have the next generation battery packs, because they want to ensure that they're cheap enough to produce so that they can reach those sub $200,000 price markets, because the whole selling point of the Tesla Semi back when they unveiled it, I know it was really easy to get distracted by the Roadster at that event, but the Semi was originally what it was supposed to be about. The whole selling point around the Tesla Semi was that it was cheaper to manufacture, because there's a lot of commercial companies out there that buy semi trucks, and at the end of the day, a lot of those companies are just going to go with the Semi that makes the most financial sense to them. And with the whole selling point being, it's cheaper to maintain, a lot lower cost of ownership, and the prices up front aren't that much worse than buying a regular diesel semi truck, getting the price point right matters above all, because it can't just be an option out there for commercial industries that want to reduce their carbon footprint. That'll be great, because there are a lot of companies that are reserving the Tesla Semi, but it's similar to their commercial vehicles. It can't just be good for the environment, it also has to make financial sense. That's how you get people on board with things like the Model S and the Model 3 and the Model Y, because people see the financial incentive of going with this, as well as the safety benefits and, the environmental benefits too. It's the whole package that matters, not just one aspect of it. So Tesla probably believed when unveiling the Tesla Semi that they would have the million-mile battery ready, or at least close to being ready, so that's why they originally said it would launch in 2019, but as the technology technology has improved, and as they're trying really, really hard to get this battery chemistry right, I know it sucks that they keep pushing back Battery Investor Day more and more and more, but I think the reason they're doing that is because they're putting so much time and thought into it. And the work of Jeff Dunn was leaked online briefly, and luckily some people got some screenshots of it that alluded to the 1 million mile battery, which I think matters even more so with things like a Tesla Semi, but also knowing about lowering the manufacturing costs allows Tesla to reach that lower price point that the Semi is advertising. That sounded way too good to be true for other people in the industry. They were like, okay, the battery size of a truck like this has to be 10 times what's in a Model S. How are you able to produce that for just $150,000 to $200,000? Doesn't make a lot of sense, but improving and rapidly scaling this battery production should make those originally promised specs possible, and as Tesla is known for, over-delivering on their promises, which I think matters a lot more than punctuality, but of course, some of you may disagree with me, so feel free to hit me up over on Twitter, join my Discord, and let me know why you think the Tesla Semi is being delayed. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.